What in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black, bring that back one time. I've been bout my papyrus since I've been in it. Put me in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoking, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead. You're lifeless. Yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube and apologize like Dice. Or the back fade coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologists sent me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a Stella with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up and your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like Akhenaten City for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things for protection. Got connection. My complexion, pure black, that's the S. Make me smile. You love me? Show me some love. All right. What's up? Peace to the people. Thanks for tapping in. Get this started.
Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself, you don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them, you don't prepare your own meat, you don't own your own land, you don't have a seed going in your window. So you think about revolutionaryism, and you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit.
Killer Mike said black people ain't ready to revolt. It's a disparaging marriage and he ready to elope. Maritime coastline, deep V hull boat. Crack a nose turned up, machete to your throat. The divine snatched the arm back, she fine, she in Zinga. Moroccan mercenary got a line on Moringa. Ask Chief X to swing it. Go fund me to rock a new car or build a school like I'm Dr. Umar. Nah, go fund some more guns, banana clips and cannabis, and bury it, the jackal, Anubis. I'm pool, keep them heaters, and I'm in tie in an abyss. He ain't rapping due to libations, he just channeling this.
Hands down, you ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrified.
I'm on life. Hovercraft propellers over swamp water. We make the thoughtful think they should have thought harder. Be aware of this. Don't blink, there's only one blunt between the careful and careless. It's hard to face it when you need a shrink or a therapist. Mental disorder ordered them to label you a terrorist. I breathe elements and I found the secret. We could all walk on water if it's ground beneath it. I carry my weapon and keep my trees, and still be Hotep and ask to rig Nasheed. 6 in the morning I greet my seed, then do everything I think I need.
I have to say this because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel. I'm with everybody. I'm not dodging, I agree with everything my brother said about revolutionaries. So let me ask you guys a few questions. We're in the South, we're in the heart of the South right now. Who fishes? Who knows how to fish?
Black people,
hands down. Who knows how to hunt? Let's hands down, hands down, hands down, hands down, hands down.
Black people, are you ready to revolt? Black people, are you ready to revolt?
All right, look. You can get that album right there on the Bandcamp, Casual Bandcamp. The album's called Fights Over Egypt. Go on and Google it so you can knock that good music. How y'all doing? Cats been saying we want to start studying again. I feel you. Hope cats been studying on their own. I just been doing, what I could do in the time that I get. Because life be, sometimes you have a lot of time, sometimes you don't have no time. You feel me? So what's going on with this DeepSeek stuff, huh? So we talking about having tech wars and doing all this stuff. Putting sanctions and tariffs and trying to hold back. We basically don't even deliver our best. We don't even deliver our best chips to China, our best microchips, our GPUs to China in order to try to hold them back, you know what I'm saying, from becoming more technologically advanced in this AI fight. Huh? And they dropped the AI. Let me pull this up. China dropped the AI that made our stock market start to crash. Because basically everybody invested in something that the people telling them it take hundreds of millions of dollars to make. In China, this company from China, DeepSeek, whatever, I forgot the company name, if that's not the company name. They drop an AI model that's putting hands on ChatGPT, and they said they trained it for $5 million. So that's to send the stock market in a frenzy. Because just think, if you ever put money in something you think is the new future run, and they come selling it to you, and they like, okay, so it's going to be like, it takes us $100 million to sell. And 2 days later, somebody dropped one that's beating that, and it's cost them $5 million. You're going to go take your money out. Let's just look at some people talking about it.
Folks, but let's get to kind of the heart of the issue. And that is it true? Is it true what this company did, what they were able to do so much cheaper, faster, better than the US companies spending massive amounts of money? Like, are the US tech firms just like setting all this money on fire? Or, as the people suggested, maybe this company, China in general, they're kind of trying to push this stuff out and they're not being honest about it. Maybe they have a lot more chips than they seem to let on. So the Scale AI CEO, Alexander Wang, says DeepSeek has about 50,000 NVIDIA H100s that they can't talk about because of the US export controls that are in place. Right? So the idea being is that they have massive amounts of compute. They're saying that they're using just a little bit to kind of make this model seem better than it is, to kind of throw a shade at the US-based tech firms. Here's Gavin Baker, who talks a lot about the various kind of investments in the space. Here's kind of his take on this situation, which I found to be one of the more nuanced takes so far. So a lot of people that are asking whether or not the claims by DeepSeek are true or not, the answer is probably, right? The answer is yes, but like there's a little bit more nuance to the conversation. So first of all,
So what they're trying to do is say they might be lying. See, this is what I'm saying. They trying to figure out, is this company telling the truth that they did it for so much less than all these American companies? You could get DeepSeek right now. You got to go to the Play Store You got to go to the Play
They need to
Store.
be less to use than O1 per each kind of API call. We'll get into what they did there to make it that much cheaper, that much more efficient. It can be run locally on a high-end workstation and does not seem to have any rate limits, which is wild. Also, obviously, know that there's
So
geopolitical.
really, I think they did this to expose a scam that's going on in America. This $500 billion Stargate thing for AI. Who need $500 billion for AI when they just did it for $5 million? Dude.
Dynamics here at play, and it's not a coincidence that this came right after the Stargate. It might have been announced a little bit prior to that, but right around the same time, and certainly we think that there's a various geopolitical kind of dynamics here. US and China are competing to win this kind of AI race, AI war, if you will, although I don't like that term. There's certainly a very kind of competitive war that's on to kind of control the global AI infrastructure. And of course, to produce the best AI models internally. So the R1 is very similar to OpenAI's O1, although it lags the O3, the yet sort of unreleased model. By the way, the chatbot arena, kind of where all these chatbots get matched up against each other, where people vote blindly on which one is better.
So it's like this. Their platform is open source. So if they lie, we gonna know in a number of days. It'll be like 4 or 5 days, 2 or 3 days, and people gonna be like, they lied. We just ran the models and you can't do it for that cheap.
So the DeepSeek R1, as you can see here, it's sitting right near the top, just a few points behind ChatGPT 4o latest. Interestingly, it's just above the O1. They're all like a few points apart. Obviously, the DeepSeek R1 has much less votes, so that still can be kind of shuffle up and down. And of course, this isn't the end-all, be-all sort of quality assessment of these models. Neither are the benchmarks. We kind of have to look at it holistically. And also, really, at the end of the day, it's about your own use cases for it. So coming back to Gavin's post, he's saying there were real algorithmic breakthroughs that led to it being dramatically more efficient, both to train and to inference. Again, we'll come back to that, exactly what they did in just a second. But I kind of wanted to get to the part about the chips, because that seems to be kind of the thing at the center of this whole thing. We're trying to figure out, did they actually manage to train this model with much less compute, with much less training compute than their sort of US counterparts? So he's saying
No, they said they did it for
verify that
$6
the
million.
R training run only cost $6 million. So here's Emad Mustak. So he was the guy behind Stability AI. He was the founder. You've probably seen him talking in a lot of different interviews about kind of the future of AI. Here he breaks down kind of the math behind why DeepSeek isn't lying about having more compute and what the actual training costs are for VR and R1, kind of the two models that we're talking about here. And after running the numbers, so he's saying that it looks like how they ran it at DeepSeek, the chip efficiency was actually lower than expected, and that optimized H100s could do it for less than $2.5 million. He's stating DeepSeek are not faking the cost of the run. It's pretty much in line with what you'd expect given the data, structure, active parameters, and other elements and other models trained by other people. You can run it independently at the same cost. It's a good lab working hard. But
so let's get this. Let's think about these sanctions. Say you put sanctions on, say you put tariffs on them so they can't sell their stuff to us, but they doing better than us. So your tariffs will work if the stuff, they got stuff we want. And you're going to be like, if you sell that to an American, they got to pay double the price. The American got to pay double the price. That affects us.
by the way, this is Neil Khosla. So he's the son of Vid Khosla, kind of this massive, well-known, very successful Bay Area Silicon Valley investor. So he's an Indian-American billionaire businessman and venture capitalist, co-founder of Sun Microsystems and the founder of Khosla Ventures. So Neil, his son, is one of the people that has presented this idea that DeepSeek is a CCP, so the China's Communist Party, a psyop and economic warfare to make American AI unprofitable. They are faking the cost was low to justify setting the price low and hoping everyone switches to it to damage AI competitiveness in the US. Don't take the bait. And of course, this created a lot of controversy. So because it seems like the father is a major OpenAI stockholder, they of course are investing in a lot of this US tech. By the way, really fast, like a lot of our takes that we have on the internet, so to speak, it tends to be very polarizing. Like it's either one way or another. Very often people say things that are like true in and of themselves, but because you tend to, in your mind, think,
All
oh,
right.
are they on my
He
team
getting a
or
lot
not?
technical, but he got a great breakdown. Let's just see if somebody just give y'all just a cold hard breakdown real quick. I mean, the news be flagging my channel if you play that stuff. Oh, so then after that, look. This how America play. This how the world is. It's cyber war going on. Soon as they found out DeepSeek was putting hands on everything and making American stocks go down, DeepSeek faced a cyber attack. So who you think launched that cyber attack? All right, let's see if somebody else can break it down.
Hey, I'm Dave. Welcome to my shop. I'm Dave Plummer, a retired software engineer from Microsoft.
What's
going
up,
back to the
Dave?
MS-DOS and Windows 95 days.
Break
And
it
today
down.
We're tackling a seismic shift in the world of
Come on,
technology.
dog. Hurry up and break
The
it down.
release of China's open source AI model, DeepSeek R1. This development has been described as nothing less than a Sputnik moment by Mark Andreessen, and for good reason. Just as the launch of Sputnik challenged assumptions about American technological dominance in the 20th century, DeepSeek R1 is forcing a reckoning in the 21st. For years, many believed that the race for AI supremacy was firmly in the hands of the established players like OpenAI and Anthropic. But with this breakthrough, a new competitor has not just entered the field, they've also seriously outpaced expectations. If you care about the future of AI innovation and global technological competition, you'll want to understand what DeepSeek R1 is, why it matters, whether it's just a giant psyop, and what it means for the world at large. Let's dive in. To set the stage, here's the part that really upset the industry and sent the stocks of companies like Nvidia and Microsoft reeling. Not only does DeepSeek R1 meet or exceed the performance of the best American AI models like OpenAI's O1, they did it on the cheap, reportedly for under $6 million. And when you compare that to the tens of billions already invested, if not more, here to achieve similar results, not to mention the $500 billion discussion around Stargate, it's cause for alarm. Because not only does China claim to have done...
I mean, you could never miss the price by that much, y'all. I don't care what technology or what you're doing. You don't miss the price by that much. They getting us, dog. And every time some new industry open up, that's what it is. Stuff be like $1,000 for a plasma TV soon as it come out, and then 2 years later, since competition showed the true price, you could get them for $200. So really, this whole $500 billion that we was all applauding that's gonna go to AI wasn't nothing but a scam. They knew it didn't cost that much, even if. So you trying to tell me? Nah, you can't be that off. Somebody somewhere has to be asking, how in the world is you telling us it take 500 billion? And then these China just come out and show the whole world that they could do it for 6 million. Tell me how you can miss the price by that much.
Done it cheaply, but they purportedly did it without access to the latest of Nvidia's chips. If true, it's akin to building a Ferrari in your garage out of spare Chevy parts. And if you can throw together a Ferrari in your shop on your own and it's really just as good as a regular Ferrari, what do you think that does to Ferrari prices? So it's a little bit like that. And just what is DeepSeek R1? It's a new language model designed to offer performance that punches above its weight. Trained on a smaller scale, but still capable of answering questions, generating text, and understanding context. And what sets it apart isn't just the capabilities, but the way that it's been built. DeepSeek is designed to be cheap, efficient, and surprisingly resourceful, leveraging larger foundational AIs like OpenAI's GPT-4 or Meta's Llama as scaffolding to create something much larger.
So just to let you know, DeepSeek beat ChatGPT and everything we've been using it for. Now them suckers gonna be on their shows like, let me DeepSeek it. Let me DeepSeek it real quick. Let's DeepSeek it real quick. Yeah, they did, James. They did that on purpose. So they just proved that so Shazmoo, the chips that we use in America in order to develop AI and the GPUs are not allowed in China. We can't even export them to China. So they beat our companies with the limited, restricted GPUs and chips that we allow them to get. We trying to set them back economically, so we like, don't let them get those. Give them those. Give them those. The hoopty ones. And they get the hoopty ones and build something better than. So this is what it do. It beat ChatGPT in computations. I'm talking about mathematical computations and language computations. You feel me? But then they say it beat Dolly and all of these image generators because they got Janice. They just dropped Janice. So I told you, I'm not about to follow AI and chase AI all over the world because you start learning one and then your thing become obsolete. All the ChatGPT experts got to switch up to that. I mean, they ain't got to switch up, but everybody know that that's not the best thing to be using.
That. Because at its core, DeepSeek R1 is a distilled language model. When you train a large AI model, you end up with something massive, hundreds of billions, if not a trillion parameters, consuming terabytes of data and requiring a data center's worth of GPUs just to function. But what if you don't need all that power for most tasks? And that's where the idea of distillation comes in. You take a larger model like a GPT-4 or the 671 billion parameter behemoth R1 and you use it to train the smaller ones. It's like a master craftsman teaching an apprentice. You don't need the apprentice to know everything, just enough to do the actual job really well. DeepSeek R1 takes this approach to an extreme. By using larger models to guide its training, DeepSeek's creators have managed to compress the knowledge and reasoning capabilities of much bigger systems into something far smaller and more lightweight. The result? A model that doesn't need massive data centers to operate. You can run these smaller variants on a decent consumer-grade CPU or even a beefy laptop, and that's a game changer. But how does this work? Well, it's a bit like teaching by example. Let's say you have a large model that knows everything about astrophysics, Shakespeare, and Python coding. And instead of trying to replicate that raw computational power, DeepSeek R1 is trained to mimic the outputs of the larger model for a wide range of questions and scenarios. By carefully selecting examples and iterating over the training process,
I'm just telling you, some people, we content creators, right? Instead of regurgitating people's videos that I be watching in order to know what's going on, I just prefer to show their videos. You feel me? You can see how much I have watched it already. And because you could just watch some people we all got to regurgitate this new information. So you get the information, you understand it, and you get it to your audience. But I still like just showing y'all the people that I was listening to.
It's a smaller model to produce similar answers without needing to store all that raw information itself. It's kind of like copying the answers without the entire library. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because DeepSeek didn't just rely on a single large model for the process. It used multiple AIs, including some open source ones like Meta's Llama, to provide diverse perspectives and solutions during the training. Thinking of it assembling like a panel of experts to train one exceptionally bright student. By combining insights from different architectures and datasets, DeepSeek R1 achieves a level of robustness and adaptability that's rare in such a small model. It's too early to draw very many conclusions,
All
but
right.
the open source...
Thanks for the breakdown. Homie, I appreciate you. Let me see. I'm still getting opinions, seeing what people were saying. There was a few videos that I have watched that is over probably. I probably won't find it. But anyway, so we need to keep game on that. I want to see something. Yeah, NVIDIA. Let me see. All right, let me see something. So this is what we're talking about here. This is what this was. So it's funny. It's not funny, but it's the terminology they use. It favors certain things. Like they wouldn't call this a crash right? But it lost 19% in the past 5 days. So, you invest in something, you put $100, now you got $81. And you like, whoa. Now, the funny part about NVIDIA stock is I remember when this was like $4. See, I was way back here. See, look, crazy. But there was nothing that would cause me to want to buy it. I had just bought something and sold it because it was not even doing nothing. Way back 2017-ish. Nevertheless, it's 125. But if we look back at, wait, what was I looking at the 5 days? Yeah. That's that drop off you see right there. And so people was wondering what the future of that is. And I'm not about to make the video on this be too long. I'm like, I've been saying I'm going to come back and ain't been coming back. But I'm going to come right back. You feel me? That's because I'm trying to learn how to get to streaming to other platforms so that the content be in the appropriate places where people want to see that content. So keep looking out for this and understand it and test out that DeepSeek. I downloaded it to my phone. I had not started messing with it, but when I was watching this other video, dude was talking about how they looked at these test statistics on how it was doing, and it was beating everything. Maybe I could probably find that video. There we go. Let's try DeepSeek versus ChatGPT. I don't think I ever watched this, but that don't matter.
ChatGPT has been dethroned by DeepSeek, as you can see right here in this tweet by Hassan. Inside the US App Store, you can see in the free apps, DeepSeek has overtaken ChatGPT. DeepSeek R1 was only released 7 days ago. It's absolutely wild. Now, if you want free access to it, you can get access to chat.deepseek.com. And today we'll be comparing ChatGPT O1 versus DeepSeek R1 to see who wins. Now, if you haven't seen the benchmarks already, we can compare them, but we'll be doing some practical examples today, some real life examples, because you can always take these with a little pinch of salt, because
you know how ChatGPT just be outputting you these answers? They say DeepSeek be thinking, and you can see it thinking. It might be changing up right in front of you, but let's just take a look.
For example, if the benchmarks come out from an AI company, then usually that company might be a little bit biased when they're promoting their own AI. But as you can see right here, DeepSeek R1 is leading the benchmarks versus OpenAI's O1 and OpenAI O1 Mini. Now, bear in mind, GPT O1 is paid, whereas DeepSeek R1 is completely free to access. And you can see it winning on a lot of benchmarks right here. So let's get straight into it. We're going to have one tab open with DeepSeek R1, and we'll have another tab open with ChatGPT O1 selected right here. And we're going to compare them side by side. So I've got a bunch of prompts I'm going to test, and we'll see how it goes. So test number one is we're going to take this prompt right here, which I usually use for creating SEO content. I'm going to plug this into O1 and DeepSeek R1 too, as you can see, and we're just going to take a random topic like what is SEO. We'll do exactly the same prompt inside DeepSeek as ChatGPT O1, so let's hit enter there, and we'll hit enter inside ChatGPT O1. And if we pull them up side by side, so we have ChatGPT O1 over here and DeepSeek R1 over here, and we can already see that ChatGPT O1 has come back to us with a really quick outline, so it's already producing faster results than DeepSeek R1. But let's see which one creates the best output so far. And we've got quite a lot of prompts to do, so let's see. Bearing in mind that O1 and DeepSeek R1 are not necessarily designed for writing content. They're more like logic models, right? So we're going to test it for writing content first, but bear in mind, it's really good at coding, logic, reasoning, etc. These are its strong points. So let's compare what the content's like. So for example, ChatGPT, it says, why should you care about SEO? Let's face it, you can have the best product in the world, but if no one finds your site, your product might as well not exist. Not bad at all. Let's have a look at the next one. So on DeepSeek R1, the title is The Basics. SEO explained like you're my mate. Feels a little bit weird straight off the bat, not going to lie to you. And then it says, SEO, search engine optimization, is tuning your website so Google loves it. Think of it like a dating app. Google swipes right if your content answers questions better than competitors. Get it right and you show up higher in search results. Free traffic for years, right? I would actually say the content itself, the written content, is better than the content inside ChatGPT, honestly. And also, here's the thing. You can see it's actually referenced inside the content a link to a study. Now, if we click on that link, right, it doesn't work. This page does not exist. So if I had to compare them, I'm going to say the actual content itself is better on DeepSeek R1 versus ChatGPT O1. However, the titles are better inside O1, and it doesn't hallucinate random links to random pages that don't even exist, right? So for that reason, I would say ChatGPT O1 is winning in prompt 1. Let's keep going now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to ask both to create a Space Invaders game. Now, also, the thing that we noted before is DeepSeek R1 is actually slower when it's responding versus ChatGPT O1. However, when we're using a prompt like this, we're really going to get a feel for which one is better because this is its strengths, right? Logic, reasoning, coding, etc. This is what these models are designed for. So we've got the index HTML, and ChatGPT actually have a new feature. If we go to edit here, then we're going to go on preview. We can preview the code if we click allow, and you can see that is working perfectly, my friend, right? We've just created Space Invaders in one single click, one single prompt, and we can preview and test it directly inside ChatGPT. So honestly, ChatGPT O1 is still winning so far, but let's see what we got back from DeepSeek. We haven't tested out the HTML yet. It did actually come back to us with Python code, so it didn't come back to us with HTML. But if we want to preview it, we have to go in HTML. So I'm going to say, okay, create this in HTML. And now, of course, you're going to have to wait a few more minutes for this to generate because it didn't generate the HTML first time around, and because it has to do a lot of reasoning in between. So in terms of speed and in terms of setup, you know, ChatGPT O1 is working pretty well. However, what I would say from both models is like DeepSeek R1 is free, right? And even the API, it costs basically nothing. So in terms of comparing them side by side, you know, DeepSeek R1 is winning on price. So let's see what it comes back with. Is creating the HTML code here. What I do like inside DeepSeek R1 is it actually has a button to click the run HTML option, right? So you can literally just preview HTML in one single click, and then you're good to go. So we've got the code back. That did take a couple of minutes. We'll hit run HTML and see what we get now. And that is working perfectly already as well. So if you actually compare them side by side, I would say the UI is probably nicer inside DeepSeek versus the Space Invaders game, just because it's like more zoomed in, you can preview it more, etc. And it goes full screen when it's doing a HTML preview. Next up, we're going to say create a beautiful SEO cost calculator website, add emojis plus plenty of detail
I ain't gotta watch
about
all
the
that,
tool,
but I
how
will
it
go to
works,
the conclusion.
and brand colors right here. So we're going to copy that prompt inside ChatGPT. We'll create free access to my AI SEO community with 3,600 AI SEOs just like you that you can ask inside the community. Feel free to join that. It's completely free. Link in the comments description. And if you want to get free access to my AI using DeepSeek R1, feel free to, that shows you how we take websites from zero so you can generate more lead sales and profits.
So are you
Website.
really gonna... He just
So
basically...
if you want free or you want local, DeepSeek.
I'm gonna go right here.
And if we go inside here now, we say, what model are you? And you can see
I
that
ain't
we
really
have
interested no
DeepSeek
more,
R1
but thanks for
ready to go.
putting that video up. Well, I don't know. I encourage y'all to look into that and peep game and watch that, follow that, and we're gonna see more about that. You know what I'm saying? It's free. It's doing just as much. I just got through paying $20 to ChatGPT. I need that back. I need that back, bruh. Give me that back. Y'all out here charging. They down the street. Got that for free. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Hopefully everything work out. Thanks for tapping in. Let's get to it. Peace. I might see. I'll be going to other platforms. Then I get tired and don't come back. Because I'm like, I'm just going to sit there and be like on there teaching for free. No, we got to get that right. I was supposed to go on what's his name channel. I ain't even going to say no names until it happened. But check it out with these AI wars going on and peep game, how they attack DeepSeek right after that and all that stuff. I'll holler at y'all. I'll be back when I can. Peace.